Hello everyone. Welcome to my online channel, The Palm Leaf. This is video number 22 of the Data Analytics and Visualization series. Today we're going to look at an interesting function. It's a cumulative function. It's called as ECDF, Empirical Cumulative Distribution Function, right? And before we get into the details, I just wanted to show you the end plot of what we want to try and achieve at the end of this video. So what do you see on this plot? On the x-axis, you have got a numerical variable, it's sepal length. We're going to use the iris dataset, and I'll take you through the iris dataset in a bit. But all that you need to understand is on the x-axis, you've got a numerical variable which ranges from value A to value B. On the y-axis, we've got the proportion. So what proportion of your x-axis is up to 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%, right? So you get these kind of lines, and I've just tried to color code these lines based on a categorical variable. So in this case, the categorical variable is species, right? So essentially what you need to do is, in a data set, if you have got one numerical column and you want to understand how that numerical column if you sort it ascendingly, how that numerical column travels across what percentage of your observations, right? So if you have got 100 observations, how many of those observations are less than value A, how many are less than value B, so on and so forth. So this is like a cumulative, so this is the cumulative chart that you can draw. Now, if you want to do this on an Excel sheet, you'll have to create a separate line and then play around with that line. In R, you can actually try and do it with a stat underscore ECDF function, which is a very quick function. So let's get into action. Right. First of all, let me show you the iris dataset. The iris dataset has got 4 different columns which are numerical variables. So I think this is something to do with flowers, their sepal length and petal length, and their widths. And you've got three types of species. You've got the Setosa species, you've got versicolor, and you've got another one, Virginica. Right, so we've got 3 different types of flower species, and we're just trying to measure what their sepal length and width is, petal length and width is. Right, so we're going to use this data set. And what is the stat underscore ECDF function? As I said, the stat underscore ECDF function is the empirical cumulative distribution function. Don't be bogged down by the name. It's just a cumulative function, right? It provides an alternative visualization of the distribution. So you can look at box plots to tell you what quartile the number of observations lie. We have already looked at box plot in some of our previous videos. We can even look at histogram for distribution. What ECDF does is it gives you a quick cumulative distribution, right? Let's get into the action. But before we get into starting to use the ECDF function, let's look at some other functions like quantile, right? Now, what is a quantile function? So all that you need to do is you just mention quantile and then select the data set. Here we are using the iris data set, and you're using the $ to represent you're going to use a column from the iris data set. You mention the column name. So here we are looking at the sepal length, and what we're trying to do here is 1 through 4, we are going to divide by 4. So you will get a 25% percentage, 50%, 75%, 100%. You'll get that distribution, and the quantile function will just give you will give you the value at the 25th percentile when the sepal length column is sorted ascendingly, right? So this is in a way like a box plot. So I just wanted to show you the quantile function because this is also something that is interesting. There's also something called a summary, right? So if you want to quickly look at summary of a data set, and if you have got numerical columns, I mean, if you want a quick version of box plot, you can actually look at this. What it does is it gives you the min and max of every column, right, which is numerical in value, and it will give you the first quartile, median, mean, and the third quartile. So you can actually see how you can have a very quick box plotish kind of a view with summary. right? There is another way to actually look at some of the medians, right? We use the dplyr function. We'll pass on the pipe function on iris, and then we'll group by species, and then we use the summarize function. We have looked at the dplyr package in videos 5 to 7. I recommend you guys to go through those 3 videos, because this is a very powerful package, right? And what we are trying to do is we're just trying to say, okay, give me just the median, right? We have now, earlier we looked at the summary function. We have got all these medians in place, right? So if you want medians by species, then you can use this function, right? Another representation is the geom box plot, right? So I'll just want to quickly show that to you before we get into the ECDF function. So here we've got all the different types of species, and we've got the box plot for the sepal length. You can see that Virginica, the sepal length is slightly higher on the higher side. For versicolor, it's somewhere between Setosa and Virginica, right? So it's good that we have got 3 different species which are Setosa seems to be smaller, or has got a lower value on the sepal length, where Virginica has got a higher value on the sepal length, right? Now, all these are different types of functions that you can use to understand your data set if it is a particular column, right? Now let's get into starting to use the stat_ECDF function, and I'll quickly explain how that is, right? So first we'll have a normal ggplot function. We'll call the iris data set, and we'll just mention the x-axis is equal to sepal length, and let us assign it to a vector variable called as g. And very quickly, I'm going to use g plus stat_ECDF, right? Hold on. Yeah. So if I do that, what I'm going to get is I'm going to get a single, I'm going to get a line like this, right? So what does this line mean? Okay, so on the y-axis, you can see the proportion distribution. 0 to 100%. It's mentioned in decimals. That's the only way. Only thing that you need to remember is when you read a ECDF graph, the y-axis is the proportion axis, and the x-axis is the actual observations, right? So your sepal lengths would vary somewhere between. From the graph, it looks like it varies from 4 to 8, and the way to read the graph is, of all the observations that you currently have, and there are about 150 observations in the iris data set, about 25% of the observations would have sepal length less than maybe 5.1 or something, right? About 50 to 60, somewhere between 50, somewhere close to 55% of all the observations would have a sepal length less than or equal to 6, so on and so forth. And I hope you understand how to read that cumulative function, right? So your line curve will always go from 0 to 100%, right? As you go through the x-axis, it just tells you how steep the curve is. So are you getting too many observations up front? This just tells you in a way where your data is skewed. The current curve looks like it's not a y is equal to x straight line kind of a curve. It's you feel that some of your data is definitely in the 6.5 to 8 sepal length bucket, right? So if you want to do a quick cumulative distribution, then you can use the ECDF function. We'll just before closing, we'll just spice it up a bit, right? So you saw that this curve is slightly bland, so we are going to use the theme_classic remove of the gray grids, and we're just going to color it by species so that we get three different lines, because species is your categorical variable. And then we're going to give it a line width of 2 so that it looks neat, right? So in the end, it becomes like this. This is what we started off with, right? So you can see here how Setosa has got a relatively smaller sepal length compared to versicolor, and then Virginica is like a bigger data set when it comes to sepal length. You can also see how each of these species progress to get to their 100%, right? You can see that most of almost all of Setosa have got a sepal length less than or equal to maybe 5.6 or something, whereas if you look at versicolor, almost all of them have less than or equal to 7 sepal length. So I guess this is what you can use whenever you want to do a quick distribution analysis. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Cheers.